Hello everybody, hey, it's Ken Faulkner, and I'm back to knife videos. Yes, I took a little break from the knives and went to pins for a while, went to backpack last time, and yeah, I'm back. This is my comfort zone. This is what I really like and collect. I mean, not that I don't like those things. I do like pins. I talked about it, but I mean, I have to be honest. I'm not collecting pins like I'm collecting, and thank goodness, um, I I don't have that much money. I can't collect 20 different things. I have to be focused, and this is what I really really like is the knives, and I do like pins. I do like you know pouches and things like that, but it's usually related to knives. So it's like EDC carrying and things like that. So yeah, here I have another knife today. Now this one is, I'm calling it Blade Show adjacent. What do I mean by that? What the heck do you mean by that, Ken? What I mean by that is that I didn't buy it at the show per se. I was in Atlanta and I bought it there, but it was at the Pit. Do you guys know what the Pit is? If you haven't been there, you may have heard of it. If you've been there, you hopefully have been in the Pit. It is like the bar area of the hotel that's attached to the event center. But I know several people that don't drink, and I know there's a lot of people that maybe used to drink and aren't drinking now, and I'm very impressed with that whole thing. I've gone through periods where I stopped drinking, and I've gotten to the point where I do drink, but it's more in moderation. And there were some nights at the Pit where I wasn't drinking because I was around other people not drinking. So, you don't necessarily have to, and you're having such a great time, so you don't really necessarily have to drink. But anyway, the Pit is a huge group of people. I mean, even like the first night, Thursday night, it was pretty mild. Friday night gets big. Saturday, huge. I mean, it's packed. And even Sunday night, there's some people there. But yeah, it's very cool. This weird construction of the hotel it's like a circle, a big circle, and it goes all the way up. The middle of the hotel goes up, and the circles, like the hotel rooms, are all around the outside of where the Pit is. So there's this center circle, and then hotel rooms, and there's floors, and there's like 13 floors, but they don't have a 13th floor. They have a 14th floor and a 12th floor. But that's something I noticed while I was there. So I've been to the Pit before. First year went there, kind of hung out a bit. Second year didn't hang out as much. I stayed at a hotel kind of offsite, and Vicky wasn't with me. He was with my girlfriend, so yeah, it wasn't really quite the same. The cat was sick. There's a lot of that stuff, so I was pretty much kind of heading back to the hotel afterwards. I did probably hang out there one night. Then this year we stayed at that hotel, which was amazing, super super amazing. My girlfriend kept saying, have I told you how much I enjoy staying at this hotel? Not only the fact, she didn't really hang out in the Pit that much, a little bit, but then there's a restaurant off the side that's kind of like a bar restaurant, and she really liked the food there, so we ate there a couple times. But just the fact that you could go out of your room, get in the elevator, go down, and then you're kind of in the building. The building. You can walk down and through a couple different rooms, and you end up going through some doors, and you're there. You're at the show. So it was just so much better. First year Airbnb, so driving in between. Second year she wasn't there, but I was at a hotel that I had to drive. I had to rent a car, so it got very expensive. And this year I managed to get into the hotel, and hopefully that is where we will go next time, because it will never live up to this show without that, because that was part of what really helped to make it work out very well. And the Pit was especially good because you just kind of go down there, hang out, and just get in the elevator, go up, you're in the room. Boom, done. Very cool. So I was hanging out with a couple people. I had Chris, a professional dad. He doesn't drink, so he's one of those people. I was with Kim and Dan Kidman was there. We hung out, and Bees was there, Mrs. Bees was there, a bunch of different people from um, YouTube comments were there. Sharif was there. That's where I saw the knife that I bought from him. Just a bunch of people. I can't name everybody, and if I tried, then I would forget somebody. So, but one person that was there was Freak Show, and if you, I don't know how many different. I know I've seen him around, but I don't know how many different lives he gets into. I know he's always in KC's lives, Tempest, Nice Fast, all that, because he does work with KC on checking his knives and doing QC work and stuff like that. He helps him out with a booth. He's actually had booths there before. I remember I went to the booth, and I guess the kids. So there's Freak Show and Mrs. Freak Show, and they're both awesome people. And then they got kids, and they were kind of running the booth. I remember my first year at Blade Show, and they're selling like patches and all kinds of crazy stuff. And I bought some stuff from them, and just talking to them, they were really cool kids. So the whole family is just awesome. They even brought their dog that year because it was like a tiny little puppy at the time. Now it's a huge dog, so they didn't bring it this year. But yeah. So anyway, hanging out a little bit, and Freak Show's there, and he's got a case of knives. So it's like a Pelican case, or I don't know exactly which case it was, but those cases opens up, and he's breaking out knives and showing them off and stuff like that. And sometimes when he break one out, he'll say, "Oh, and I'm selling this one," And there's several of them that he was selling. And I looked at, oh yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna buy that one, but blah 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 blah. And then he breaks out this knife, and he gets this one out of his case. And I was not familiar with it, but I knew pretty much right away that it was a Ferrum Forge design. And I do have a thing for Ferrum Forge, definitely. So he explained it was a Massdrop knife. So I've heard of Massdrop. I think they were around before I started really getting hard into collecting, and they would team up with different knife companies and stuff like that. So I don't know if it's like an urban EDC or something like that. I don't know all the details. I know they do still have a website because I was trying to look this knife up and find out some information before the video. So what I did see is it's not super available. You can actually see them on Amazon, but they're not available there. And then Blade HQ has them and stuff like that, but and different versions, lots of different versions. But this is the one with the carbon fiber, and it's not like the peel ply. It is a full carbon fiber. I don't know if you can see it, probably can there. That it's got the carbon all the way through, and it's very nice looking for this style of carbon fiber. It is slick, and I'm not a fan of how slick it is per se, but the fact that it's not the peel ply is a big plus. And it's a small knife, so it's like holding on to it's not really that difficult, although I did drop it today when I was carrying it, but it managed to survive the drop, and it's Massdrop, so I guess that, never mind. That has nothing to do with it, Ken. Nothing to do with it. So yeah, I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at the ones they have that have the carbon fiber. And so one thing I did notice, and I was suspicious of this, and this is why I was looking at it, is that this is anodized, and you can see that it's got a cool blue, and it goes really well with the carbon fiber. And I didn't mention the name. Okay, so this is a Massdrop Ferrum Forge collab, and this is the Gent. And I'd never heard of it before until he brought it out of his case, and he had it on the table, and he said, he wanted this price. That sounded good to me. I had cash on me. Boom, did the deal. So it's kind of cool. It's the first time I've ever bought a knife at the pit. I've heard of people doing that before. Now you can't sell in the show. You can't bring knives in and sell. They call that brown bagging. And you're not allowed to do that in the show. But in the pit, it's after the show's over and everybody's hanging out and everybody's just, you don't need a ticket to go in the pit. You just need to go and hang out. And so, so selling it at the pit is fine. And I never had bought one there. And this year, it was part of the experience. This has really great action. So like I was saying now, this is a carbon fiber over titanium. And the titanium kind of shadow boxes it. You can see the titanium all around the outside, and it works really well with this because he's got that great blue. It looks very nice. The clip also looks different than the ones I saw online. I don't know if this is just an older clip or he swapped it for something. The one that normally comes with it is similar to this, but not. It's thin all the way down, and this one gets wider here, which I think is probably a better design, and it works really well. So I don't know the whole story. I didn't like interrogate him and say, what did you do to it, blah, 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 blah. I didn't really get into it. But you can see that, yeah, there's some wear on the clip, and that's normal. I mean, if you're going to carry a knife, you're going to get wear on it, but it still kind of looks, it has kind of a stonewash kind of look to it. Really cool looking. You know, I like a knife that shows some wear. I really do. So it's not, you know, I'm not just justifying it. I do like it a lot. It looks like there might be some stonewash on the blade, and that may be something he did as well. He is definitely known for modding knives and sharpening too. He does sharpening services. You know, if he did a stonewash on it, it's not super heavy. You can still see where it says right here, and I don't know if you can read it, but it says Massdrop, and it says S35VN. So that's the steel. Now, it's funny because I was kind of laughing because recently on Casey's Lives, he was saying how much he dislikes S35. So it was kind of funny. But anyway, this one is S35, and I don't mind S35. I'm not, you know, pro-con, hardcore. Of course, I think people that sharpen knives have a different perspective on blade steels than people that, like me, I sharpen some, but not on a regular basis. You know, I swap out my knives so much. They do get dull eventually, and I will. This one has a great edge on it. Let me get some paper. Anyway, so I'll sharpen my knives, but not to the point where I'm doing it on a daily basis. But he does it for a business, so you know, he charges a certain amount. And I wouldn't say, I don't know how recently he sharpened it, and I know he doesn't like the steel, so he may not have taken a lot of time with it. So this is not a sign of his sharpening ability. I hear that he is quite good. It definitely is sharp, but it, you know, probably could use a stropping. And, you know, so I'll put it on the list. It definitely has a little bite to it, which makes it probably not so good. Maybe he went for toothy. And maybe that's why. It probably will cut cardboard a little bit better. You know, toothy does cut things differently. So you see that it's cutting cardboard pretty darn well. So depending on, when it's toothy, it doesn't slide through the paper quite as easily. So anyway, that is what it is, but it is a very thin blade. So it's got good geometry. So I'm sure, you know, strop it up a little bit, it'll slice much better through paper. Action is really quite good. I mean, it's dropping really nice. Again, you know, you can use that Massdrop association, but it's just really great action. And the anodizing is great. The blade looks good. I don't know if that's original or if that was something that Freak Show did. So I am drawn, like I said, I'm a fan of Ferrum Forge, and I can't deny it because there's lots of knives that I liked before I even realized that they were Ferrum Forge designs. Here's one. It's the Valor from Arts and Cutlery, and I always love that design. I love that arc all the way across the top edge kind of thing. It just looks really clean and really sleek. Very nice. So you can always kind of see a Ferrum Forge design, and you can see the little symbol there at Ferrum Forge. So you can kind of see that language. But I always really like this knife. It took me years to finally buy it. It was like $300, so it was like a pretty big investment, and I just always had something else I wanted to buy. Finally picked it up, and yeah, it's S35 as well. Funny. Action is amazing on this one too. Ah, so nice. So I really like this knife, Ferrum Forge design. Another one I got recently and that I always wanted to get was the ProTech. I don't even have my spreadsheet up. This is the which one is this? Is S45VN. This is the, I'm blanking. You know the one. I really, even if I looked it up ahead of time, things just kind of float in and out of my head so easily. I only have two from ProTech. I have the Malibu, and this one is the, well, if only it said on the knife. But you can see it does have the Ferrum Forge design. It's one of their very popular names, and everybody knows it, and somebody's screaming it out at me right now. And it seems like it should start with a B. Anyway, I don't want to break out my laptop right now because I don't have it out. And I know Chris loves this knife. It's the one that he carries a lot, and he bought one for his kid. I know all about this knife, and I just can't think of the name of it. And then the last one here is the one that I've had for the longest time, is the Stinger. It's funny I can remember the Stinger. So there's the Stinger, and this one is most like the Stinger, and this is the first time I've really actually have them side by side, and there's a lot more difference to it than I thought there was. I thought they were very similar. This one's more pointy out here. This one has more of a belly. This one is just got G10, textured G10. But Stinger, that's a very, and the way this clip is more similar to what I think these tend to come with, because it's a thinner clip. Like this one's thin and that kind of thing. It's a bent clip just like this one, but it's thinner and it doesn't flare out like this one. So, yeah. Great knife. I always, I finally got that one because I just, every time I saw it, I eyeballed it and loved it. And so those are the Ferrum Forges in my collection. As far as I know, there may be even more. But another one that's related to this one is this one. And it's a Tempest knife, so obviously not Ferrum Forge design, but it was modified by Freak Show. You remember last year they talked about that. Casey talked about how he was going to have a few of his microbursts modified for the show by Freak Show. So he did the sharpening. He did an acid wash on this. That's why I think this might have been an acid wash as well, or some kind of stone wash or something like that. But yeah, looks really cool. He did the dyeing on the handles. Very nice. I was really happy to get this one. I kept on postponing buying the microburst, and finally they sold out, and then these ones dropped. So I went to early coming in for the show last year, and I found this one. I picked it up. Super happy with it. So there you go. So it's all connected. There's always a story, and there's always something that I forget. What is this knife? Gosh, it's gonna be. I'm gonna remember it, and I'm gonna go, oh my gosh. And it's, for some reason, the name of this knife definitely is one that I keep forgetting about. This is one of those, and it's like that for me. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I have to see a doctor or something, or just deal with it. That's pretty much what I normally do, is just deal with it. So trying to get them all in the frame. I'm gonna back up a little bit. Here we go. So we got Ferrum Forges and a Freak Show customized, and a Ferrum Forge that is Freak Show customized. And yeah, really cool. I got one more thing to show you though. It's towards the end of the video, so we can talk about the giveaway coming up pretty soon. All those people who were kind of like, will watch for a while, and then I'm talking so much that they want to move on to something else. I mentioned that, and I showed all the stuff for the giveaway, except that there was a Hank on its way. And it's here. It arrived as advertised on Wednesday. It was here when I got home from work. And look at that guy. It's very cool. And do you know who made it? Mad Yako. There you go, a couple stickers. So I'll throw in the stickers and this Hank, and it's going in with a giveaway. I had the giveaway video where you need to comment to get in on the video, or the giveaway. So if you haven't seen that, it was last Saturday, I believe. So go and see that one with the box and jump in. And we try to keep it small by being sneaky, and therefore the odds will be a little bit better for everybody that gets in. So Sunday, I'll be most likely doing it on Sunday. Come up with a video that's going to be the giveaway, selecting the person to win. And Mad Yako Hank. This is a very nice Hank too. Get these stickers out of here. He's got a crazy, he's Mad Yako, so it's got to be a little crazy design. I don't know if those are eyeballs or what. I don't know where he gets his cloths. But on the other side, it's got some really nice stitching. Good quality. I always heard him talking about it. I remember he used to have the sewing machine there when he was doing his videos. And yeah, I mean, it looks really, really nice. So that's one of the good things about the videos, or the giveaways, I mean, is that I get to order stuff that maybe I want to see how good it is. And then I can order some more later if I like it. So definitely Mad Yako on Etsy. He's got a store. And it didn't take too long. And he's got his own little thing here, Mad Yako Hanks, handmade in Ohio. So it's USA made. And yeah, that's going in the giveaway, which just kind of boosts it up a little bit, I think. I feel it does. All right, guys. Yeah, so I think that's it for the giveaway. I don't think I'm adding anything else. But you never know. So keep an eye out. Thanks for watching. Enough talking. I did it in reverse. And the Gent by Massdrop and Ferrum Forge. Very cool knife. Excellent action. And the mods done on it are fantastic. So super happy about this purchase from the pit. You guys have a good one, and I will see you on the next one.